Hello, I am urologist Omer Erdamakaya. Today I will give you some information on some concepts like the post-cycle therapy, PCT, testosterone replacement therapy TRT, and anabolic cures and differences between them. Because I get a lot of questions about these concepts. Firstly, I want to talk about testosterone replacement therapy shortly. Testosterone replacement therapy aims to provide natural fluctuation within physiological limits to the low testosterone. What is low? It is 300 to 400 nanogram per deciliter and below. And if the patient has complaints, we believe he needs a treatment. And the level we want is usually a fluctuation of testosterone of 600 to 1000. But there are some sources, publishing abroad, that want fluctuation to be between 900 and 1500. As I said, the TRT is used for patients over 50, but some doctors use it after 35, which is too young in my opinion. But I think it's too early, it shouldn't be done. What is an anabolic cure? What is the aim of it? Its aim is to increase muscle mass and reduce fat mass. And in order to achieve a reaction, it increases the testosterone level in the body to between 10 and 100 times. The interesting thing about the anabolic cure is that it is being used all over the world, but it's illegal. It's used in America, Europe, and Asia, but it's forbidden in all. All athletes who participate in the competitions use anabolic cures, but even though it's forbidden, this has been ignored. I definitely do not recommend the use of an anabolic cure as an amateur, because it's very risky. Because when you give medicine to 100 people, you will get the answer you want from 95 of them, but you may not get the answer from 5 of them, and they might have very serious problems. After the use of the anabolic cure, most of the patients come to me with complaints of erectile dysfunction. They say, I have used that medicine and this medicine, but my complaints haven't been fixed since then. But there's also this, some people may have good sexual power, but it can be fragile. Suddenly the patient is embarrassed in front of his partner, for example, that embarrassment brings psychological problems along. Even after having this erectile dysfunction, patients may have a divorce and lose their families. Because of that, I believe as an amateur you shouldn't use these drugs. They are dangerous. And because they are produced in illegal laboratories, there are also some other risks coming along. We've already made a video about it. To briefly give information about medicines used in anabolic cures, there are 3 groups of medicines used. Basically, they are steroids, which are dihydrotestosterone group, nonandrolone group, and testosterone esters, along with its selective androgen receptor modulators, are being used commonly in the last 20 to 30 years. There are hundreds of substances under this title. Also, growth hormone analogs and growth hormone secretories are being used widely between anabolic cure consumers. There are also hundreds of substances under this title. We have made a detailed video about it. Anabolic cures have been being used widely for the last 50 years, since 1970 around the world. Of course, people have exchanged their experiences and improved a lot of techniques in anabolic cures. And PCT is being used for the last 50 years. The products used in PCT are very old, like 70 to 80 years old medicines, chemistries. We still can't be produced in our country. Unfortunately, we can't produce Pregnyl or Clomid, we still import them. In this table you can see the classic PCT. I got this from the anabolic laboratory. This PCT changes from one person to another. Because the period of PCT depends on the products, medicines the patient used, and the reaction of the patient. I don't recommend an anabolic cure. I don't even know how to make it, but I can help you with the problems coming along after the use of anabolic cure, like erectile dysfunction, or other problems, or with the PCT. The only aim of the PCT is not to activate the testicle in a short period. Because after the anabolic cure I have seen often the impairment of liver functions, the increase the kidney functions, and along with it I have seen that the patient is depressed because while using the anabolic the person has a great increase in self-confidence and loss of sympathy. They really can't feel like the other person, they lose their sympathy feeling. So, I definitely do not recommend the use of an amateur. Apart from that, as I said, the PCT is a treatment process that is generally used to activate the testicles in a short time because it can take 4 to 5 even 6 months for the testicle to recover if it's not done even after using the simplest anabolic cures. In that period the level of the testosterone is really low. For example, before the cure it was around 500, after 1 month the total testosterone is around 100, 150 or 170. And it continues this way for a long while. And the patient suffers from this also since he loses his muscle mass he might be seriously depressed. And also, not everyone reacts the same to the same medicine, so patients may have serious problems. These are the concepts briefly. This topic is actually long to talk about, but since most of the questions were about this, I wanted to take this video. Thank you for listening, best regards.